Shelter in place. So we have the order that's come on high. Shelter in place. And it just makes me ponder, it makes me wonder, it makes me think more deeply, spiritually. And here's the phrase, shelter in God, shelter in Christ. And is that the answer that I'm looking for and that people are looking for these days? So there's Psalm 91, a beautiful psalm that talks about dwelling in the shelter of the Most High, resting in the shadow of the Almighty, that God is a refuge, a fortress. God is my refuge and a fortress, my God in whom I trust. A beautiful psalm of poetry. Contains so many images and symbols of who God is. And then it goes on to say, He will save me from the snare of the fowler, save me from the traps of other people, so to speak. And then these lines, I will not fear terror of the night, arrows that fly by day, or the pestilence, or the plague. Seems like an appropriate text to ponder during these days, doesn't it? But you know what? I guess I just don't believe anymore in God as a lucky charm, in God as a rabbit's foot, that God jumps in and saves the day of people who are dying or sick, because none of us are getting out of here alive. So what could this beautiful poetry in the hymn book of Jerusalem's worship have to say to us today about a coronavirus, an illness, and fear of death? All our fears come flowing in on us during this time. Fear of the future, fear of death, fear of illness, fear of financial security. What does this mean? Refuge, fortress, safety, shelter. You know, in spirit, I think we've got to look past kind of with our human eyes and our spiritual eyes. In spirit, there is nothing to fear. In my ego, there is everything to fear. And I don't think God will save us or rescue us from all hurt. But ultimately, we cannot be harmed, so to speak, huh? So I think there is an answer, one answer for every problem that I face. And this psalm hints at it if we can look deeper. And the answer is presence. God is my place of safety. Nowhere in this world is, but God is my place of safety. God is my true home. God is my dwelling. No matter what happens, we're not guaranteed to be rescued out of all of our problems, though this psalm seems to say that in some way. But the answer in every problem, for every problem, in my mind, and maybe I'm too simple in this, but it's a simple and profound truth, is the answer to every problem is presence. God's presence. So here's the phrase that I come back to over and over, and I think I made it up. The answer to every problem is to be present to the presence in the present. And when I abide there, there's no fear, for I'm abiding in love. But I often shelter in other places. The land of fear and the land of anxiety. And it's such familiar territory, though it's not my home. My true home is in God, but I shelter in other places, and I forget to shelter in God. I forget to shelter in Christ. I'm safe at home with God right now, in spirit. So, maybe the question is, as Van Morrison says, when will I ever learn to live in God? When will I ever learn? Well, I get a choice right now in this moment on where my location is, to shelter in God. And the fear dissolves, the fear dissipates, knowing that I am home in God. God is at home in me. And whether in this life, I'm at home in God right now, and when this life is over, I'll see the truth. That I've always been in God, in Christ, dwelling with God, God dwelling with me. There's nothing and nowhere I can go, ever, from God's presence, and nothing can separate me from His love. So there's the answer, to be present to the presence in the present. May that, well, that's helping me. I don't know about you and these words that I speak. I just don't know. But I'm preaching to myself and talking to myself. Oh, there's my glove and my hat in the tree. All right, signing off. Maybe I should erase this one. Be present to the present, in the present. Maybe I should just stop talking and be silent and shelter in God. So until next time, may you live all the days of your life.